Hello, everyone out there. How are we
Hello.
all doing this morning?
Greetings.
Fine, Thursday morning.
All good, all good.
Saw you, Dan, on the Instagram, suited and booted. You looking good?
Ah, yes, the old the wedding.
Yeah.
Nice.
My it was Rachel's sister's wedding.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it was nice. Yeah, the girls were bridesmaids. So yeah,
Oh,
it was
lovely.
good. Yeah, good day. Long day. I didn't drink either, which was still 4.5 months in there. No,
Well
Nice.
done,
beer.
mate.
I take it there was a lot of drink flying about.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. It would have been actually better to drink because the bar was free apart from like you had to pay for the non-alcoholic bit.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, which made me laugh.
That's strange. I've never
Or
heard
they
of that.
just charged me. They didn't like me or something. I don't know.
Maybe. So,
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, it's a nice day. Yeah.
I am. It's funny you should say about like not drinking and like alcohol-free beer, because as you all know, I don't like beer, but I tried an alcohol-free Corona the other day.
Yes.
It's like the light blue label.
Yeah, it's good.
And that is literally, it's lovely. Like, because it doesn't,
nice,
the thing I don't like about beer is it has that aftertaste. That's what I don't like. And that Corona alcohol free, it doesn't have that.
Yeah.
I was like,
it's funny because I had a sip of like Danny was there doing the photography, so he had a beer and I had a sip of his beer, just to taste the difference between the not an alcohol and the alcohol. And like the difference is made, you can really taste, especially I've not had it for so long, you can really taste the like the hops in it. The actual beer, you can proper taste it. But yeah, that was the hardest time not drinking yet, because it's at a wedding. That's all you want to do is get blasted.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I don't really drink, but when it comes to weddings, it's actually like I enjoy. So you have the ceremony, you then have like the little gathering, like the little entrees and the drinks. So basically, my kind of schedule at a wedding is you do the ceremony, you then get pissed, you then sober up eating the meal, and then you get pissed again.
Yeah. It's a long day event, isn't it?
It is very long, but it's good. But weddings are great. I do like weddings a lot. I do. Yeah. So was it a nice day overall?
Yeah. Weather was good. Just a chilled like family there and stuff. So yeah, like we had rooms there as well, which was another tricky thing, because again, it could have been easy to drink because you got your room, so nowhere to go either. So that was like one of my first tests. Really, I've been out once, I think, and not drunk. So I think not drinking is not too bad for me personally. As long as you're not in an environment where it's happening. I feel worse for it. Just aching more in pain, but we'll see.
Yeah, I kind of like naturally just not drank. I've not made a conscious effort not to drink. But I just don't find myself having alcohol anymore that much.
Yeah. Sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, not to bring up lockdown again, but I didn't drink for basically the entirety of 2020.
Oh, wow.
And that was just because of like lockdown and that. And that kind of like broke the rhythm really, to a point where I was just like, I don't even really.
Yeah, I think, do you know what it is? I think it is, I was going off a bit of tangent here, but we're on it. But I think a lot of it is habit. So my habit on a Friday was like, come back, we get pizza. Always had like a 4-pack. Couple after football on like on a Wednesday. And then obviously and then just the occasional. So not too much, but like just again, it's not, I haven't stopped. I just did dry Jan and thought I wonder if I could do another month. Did another month and then thought, I could actually, don't find this too bad at all. And just kind of continue. But I was chatting to someone the other day, I had this like little epiphany. I was like, women, when they get pregnant, they just instantly give up for like 9 months. You rarely hear them I mean, they're pregnant, but you rarely hear them like make a deal of it. Oh, I've had to give up drink. My sister has done it twice now for like 9 months. And not really even mention. Obviously, there's an added benefit: you don't get your baby blasted.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like they do it so often. I thought, I wonder if we could do 9 months. Just got me thinking. And then I'll come out at the end as a woman.
There you go. So you're gonna do? Is that the aim? You're gonna try?
I'm not putting, just in case. I'm not putting any dates or anything on it. I'm just seeing how I go. But that would be quite cool to do 9 months as a homage.
As a homage.
Pay homage to the
all the
pregnant women out there.
Yeah.
This one's for you.
This one's for you. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like they want me all back in their corner.
Dude. Dan's a feminist now.
I'm there for you.
Yeah, he's an ally.
I'm an ally, mate. I'm an ally.
Not your enemy.
Oh, brilliant.
Speaking of beverages,
okay.
I'm still a bit buzzing off some pre-workout because I went to the gym this morning with a good friend Dan. That stuff is, in my opinion, legal liquidized cocaine. It makes me itch.
We discussed
it before. Yeah, there's a lot of caffeine in it. It's making me itch a bit, which I'm reassured that is a natural response.
It is.
What is it?
It's the beta alanine in it. So it's pre-workout is just like, it just basically gets you buzzed and gives you a lot of like short burst energy to do your workout. Probably has creatine in there as well.
Creatine. Yeah.
But there was at a gym I used to train at. This was years ago. This was probably getting on for 10 years ago. There was basically with pre-workouts, they make them, and then sometimes substances in them get banned. And so then what they do is they go back to the lab, they remove that one thing, and then they re-release it. And then, hey ho, you've got the same product, but blah, blah. But there was one that was banned, and this gym still had the banned edition under the counter, and it was sort of like a need to know basis, right?
Yeah.
So it was called Fury, and basically it had traces of amphetamine in it, which is why it was banned, and it got you there, you know. One day, me and my training partner, we thought, right, we're gonna fucking like go for this. So we not only did we double scoop it, so we had 2 scoops each, but we combined it with energy drink as opposed to fizzy energy drink as opposed to water, which is essentially, I mean, I reckon we probably had, plus we were about to exercise intensely, we probably had about a 95% chance of having a heart attack and or stroke, but we managed to get through it. And we had this I could call him up right now, and I would just say, Jordan, just because he was called Jordan too. Jordan, describe the session that we had, and he would say the exact same thing as me, right? Because it was the most bizarre thing that's ever happened to me. So we had this amphetamine-laced pre-workout, double scoop energy drink, right? Like basically suicide in a fucking cup. We turned telepathic. Right, so we were spotting each other on like bench press and that. He didn't even have to tell me like whether to take it or not, how many reps he had left. I just fucking knew, and it was the same. Like we just like elevated to this level of enlightenment. We were just like on a different plane of existence. It was utterly phenomenal. And I'm telling you now, if I rang Jordan, I just went, Jordan, I'm on the podcast, just tell him about the Fury. He'd go, oh, what, when we had that telepathic gym session? Like, we still talk about it to this day. It's fucking mad. Crazy, but obviously it was illegal. It was banned.
The twist in it is when you look back at the CCTV and the other Jordan's not even there. It's just Jordan on his own. Like Fight Club. And he's just there. He's like, he was spotting me. Like, there was no one.
No one was there.
It was just you.
Yeah.
I used to years ago when I was like working for this company called Parafit, and it was like a outdoor what's it called, where you do like like training sessions outside.
Yeah.
Like boot
Like
camp
boot
sort of
camps,
thing.
yeah.
And we used to take ephedrine, which that stuff was like lethal.
Oh, that's adrenaline.
Yeah, so you get it.
Ephedrine and epinephrine.
Yeah, I'm sure
I'm
you
pretty
get
sure it's liquid adrenaline.
ephedrine tablets.
Unless I'm getting them mixed up.
Yeah, he used to get them, these little and then we'd like you wouldn't eat, you wouldn't have any appetite, and you'd just be like full of, you'd be buzzing. Like it was like doing speed. It's really weird. But I think long term it fucks you up. Obviously, they're not eating and having all that energy. But yeah, it was like you take it in the morning, and then you'd be buzzing for the whole day, but just wouldn't feel the need to eat. I'm sure it must have like. Probably when it wore off, can't remember. It's quite it's a long time ago now, but I'm sure when it wore off, you probably would eat double or whatever.
Yeah,
but all that stuff, you have to be careful, don't you? Because it obviously it's all affecting your chemical balances in your body. So for every positive, there's probably a negative.
Yeah, I mean, obviously
it's natural.
Yeah, I mean, with pre-workouts, the thing is, they're like, I mean, you look at like caffeine
Small
on the back
doses.
of a can of Monster, and then you look at the caffeine on
Yeah.
a pre-workout, and that's why they get you there. You know, that's why you.
Oh, is it loads more?
Oh man, it's
is
like
it?
Yeah, which is also why doing a double scoop of that Fury Plus and energy drink,
shit,
probably about 3 weeks worth of your daily fucking intake. But
yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, wonder what that well, we'll find out later with Lost, but the downside to that is, I wonder if you crash.
On Fury, C4's okay. C4's not bad, but that Fury one, we'd train about 10:30, 11. I'd be asleep by 3.
Jesus,
I'd have to sleep.
Yeah, it's your body.
You just shut down.
Just depleted all your energy resources.
Yeah.
See, I feel like I'm gonna have the most, I want to say, extreme reaction, because my caffeine intake normally is pretty much 0.
Yeah.
I drink predominantly water. I don't have any hot drinks, tea or coffee. Don't have them. So I've just had this pre-workout smashed full of caffeine. I mean, I feel like I'm going to be buzzing off my literal tits for hours, and then I will just go into sleep mode.
You'll crash. Yeah.
That's what happened. So
that's why I wouldn't recommend at a pre-workout like any time after probably 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Right.
Like if you go for a session after work and you have pre-workout, you will not sleep until like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Okay.
Which I guess is actually with that kind of pre-workout for sure.
I mean, it's gonna be honest, full transparency. The only reason I went for it, 1, because Dan picked the same one, but 2, it was called C4, and I was like, if anything's gonna get me there, it is a pre-workout named after a plastic explosive. It's gonna happen. So
was it one of them shot bottles?
Yes.
Yeah, they're right there.
£2.20 siphoned straight into Pure Jim's wallet.
Nice.
You can get a tub for like 30 quid.
That's what Dan was saying. I was like, mate, this is a false economy. I'm coming here and I'm spending £2.20 potentially every time I come here.
Yeah. So mate. Talk about a false economy, right? So obviously, my wrist injury, yeah. I haven't been able to play golf for about 2 months, and I pay £50 a month to my golf membership.
Nice.
Anyway, I didn't realize the people that I play golf with were still putting my name down for competitions, right? And obviously I couldn't play. I was injured, right? So I went on Saturday just to walk around with them because I miss golf that much. I wanted to walk around and watch them play rather than play, right? Anyway, so we get to the Bunkers bar afterwards. We're having a drink. And my dad says to me, he was deadly serious. He's like, I don't know if they're joking or not, But the clubhouse, the reception where you sign up for competition at, they said that you're banned from the next one. I was like, what do you mean I'm fucking banned from the next one? Which, by the way, is on my birthday. Anyway, right? So I go through there, and I don't know if it's a joke or not. So I go through there and I go, oh, hiya. I hear I'm banned from the next competition. Right. This dude on reception, yeah, or in like the pro shop, he was a bit fucking strange because he fucking instantly went to aggression. And I was like, right, this is how we're playing this card. Okay. Right. He was like, yeah, because you haven't been turning up for competitions and there are people that have probably missed out because your name is down. And I went, whoa, okay. First of all, didn't know I was in any competitions. Second of all, I've been in a cast for the last month, showed him a picture. Third of all, I'm not being a dick. Were the competitions full? No, but that's not the point. I was like, well, wait. If you're telling me people have missed out because I'm in it, but they weren't full, therefore they could still go in it, it really is the point. and then he was, but these competitions, right, are a £5 to enter, and then all the money goes together, and then you get your prizes, right? And my name's been put in, but £5 haven't been paid because obviously I didn't turn up.
Yeah.
So he was making a thing. I missed 2 competitions, by the way. So that's a tenner. Yeah. And I just trumped him completely. I was like, I'm not being funny, mate. Yeah. I have not used this club in 2 months. I've paid £100 for nothing. And you're complaining about a tenner. I'm not being funny. I could miss the next 20 competitions and you'll still be quids in because I haven't, you know what I mean? And he then sort of like calmed down and all this sort of shit. He said, well, I guess it's not your fault that, you're in a cast. Like, yeah, no, it's not, mate. And then he was like, well, and then I accidentally grasped someone up because we were just conversating. He was like, well, who's been putting your name down? I was like, oh, Alan, he plays in the midweek. Alan, bless him, right? He's a 65-year-old dude, lovely guy. He plays in the seniors during the week. He puts his names down for the Saturday competitions, right? But Alan loves, I mean, I love golf and that. Alan loves Dunstan Hall Golf Club. Like, he wants to get on the committee and shit. And then I've just dropped him in it by saying that he's been like, until, I'll have to have a word with Alan. And I have to have a word with Alan. And I was like, oh.
He's never getting on that committee, is he now?
I've literally, Alan's retired, right? Retired early to live the rest of his life playing golf. He fucking loves it. All he wants is to get on this fucking committee. And I've fucked it up for him.
There you go.
Alan's no banned. He can't even play golf there because he's
what you've done
messing the whole system up.
So I was in my cast this whole time. The golf club I've been paying for has been like rising up against me. But
when you said I was in a cast, I thought he was going to say I was in a coma.
Make it more serious.
There's a picture of me on a hospital bed. But but can you imagine, like, so I've got new clubs that came a month ago and I still haven't been able to use them, right? Yeah. I haven't been able to play golf in nearly 2 months. I'm hoping to come back to that competition on my birthday, right? So picture this. Imagine I didn't go on Saturday, just gone and sort this out. I would have rocked up for the first time in 2 months to play the sport that I love, using my brand new clubs that I haven't been able to use for a month on my birthday, to be told, fuck off, your band. I would have probably burnt the club down. So that would not have ended well at all.
No. I think when you said when you said, oh yeah, I probably shouldn't have done this. When you said that, I thought you said you were about to say, and I smacked him. I was like,
no, I kept very calm. He was very aggressive. He was very pissed off. I was like, mate, why does it even matter to you? Like, I don't understand.
The entire reason you are pissed off is completely blown out of the water seconds after he says it, because you ask, were they full? And he says no. He's like, well,
yeah, exactly. That was it. He was fucked. Yeah. But I said to him, like, I totally get it. If you've got someone where they've signed up to a competition, it's raining, and they're like, can't be fucked. I get that. I was in a cast. Like, I said to him, I was like, I'm not being disrespectful to the golf club, but I was more concerned of the fact I couldn't work and therefore couldn't earn money than, oh, I should probably ring up the golf club I pay £50 a month to make sure I'm not in any competitions I wasn't aware of. Like, do you understand how this logic makes no fucking sense? You know what I mean? I was just like, yeah, it blew my mind. And then because I was gone for so long, because my dad knows from time to time I can be argumentative, right? He was because I was gone for so long. He was like, I think it's gone badly. But then when I went back through, I was like, it weren't me, it was him. Like, I weren't even. He was like, it was just a good thing. He caught me I was in a very good mood. So I was like, because if I was in a shit mood and he got aggressive first, I would have definitely went there. I would have been, okay, the gloves are off. Here we go. I'm up for this. But yeah, no, it's not violence, by the way. I just meant like a verbal confrontation. Lozzie's had enough. Gloves
are off.
That's it.
The cast is off. I'm ready to go.
That's it. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. I just thought, fucking hell, I was happy to be back, and now I'm being told I'm being banned for the next competition.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I hate those things when you're not even aware of something.
Yeah,
so it just catches you off guard, and it's like you're like, oh shit, I didn't even know.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what? Oh no, Lozzie's had a. Oh no, this might end this call. Lozzie's had a power cut.
Shit. I was going to say, because he's hosting this, isn't he?
Yeah, he's hosting this. We're still live at the minute.
Says live. I don't know how he will get back into this.
Yeah. I guess it just. I don't know.
Another bomb.
Well, hopefully we stay on. Yeah. So how you said about because not drinking and stuff, and you should drink after football. Are you still playing football?
Yeah. Yes, I play Mondays and Wednesdays.
Nice.
And I don't go for beer. I sometimes go for beer on Monday, but not often. But yeah, I just go. We go down and just have non-alcoholic drinks.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Again, it's all I've done with it is just change that. Like on a Friday, I still get we'll get a pizza, and I've kind of stopped now. But I initially I did just buy a 4-pack of non-alcoholic ones.
Yeah,
like the Corona ones. Again, just for the habit of matching the habit. And then now it's like, yeah, I don't really do that. I just get them every now and then. Because I think maybe after a while, your taste goes for it.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. Because it was always like, I don't know. It was just always I'd look forward to it on Friday, whereas no, it's just I'll have the pizza and a drink.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like if ever I fancy one, I would just get some non-alcoholic ones. And have those. But yeah, I'll just see how long it goes. I thought I'll just keep going now. It's like every time I kind of look, it's like it's closer to another month. So now it's coming up to 5 months.
Well, yeah, that's awesome.
May, so see how it goes.
Yeah. Alan in not Alan from golf, but Al in the chat says, "What pizza are we talking?"
What
should go on a Friday?
Oh, this is tricky because I share one with my missus.
Right.
So we usually get as a compromise, we'll get like a chicken feast, and I'm not a sweet corn fan, but we'll have sweet corn on it.
Yeah.
We used to go barbecue based, but now just go tomato. If it was personally just on my own, I'd probably go for like a Mighty Meter or something.
Nice. Yeah.
But yeah, always Domino's, always Friday.
Yeah. I do love
rarely
Jesus Christ. Everything just went black. The lights went off. I thought my computer just imploded. I was like, that's it. I've done one pre-workout and I've just emitted electromagnetic waves. I've done it. Jesus Christ. I was like, I thought I was in a different world for a second. I was like, nah, that didn't just happen. It just didn't. Because electricity, but fucking hell. Right, I'm going to have to get all the articles back up. Make sure they're all running.
Yeah, we were just talking about go-to pizzas because I was thinking, like, as soon as you left, I was like, Lozzie planned the podcast, so it's like, don't know where this is gonna go.
So we're going to pizzas.
I don't even know why this is about.
Yeah.
Well,
a whole 2 hours on pizza. So
Yeah.
what type of mushroom combination?
It's good that you kind of stayed in.
I know we said that as well.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to kick us out.
Yeah, I
you
would.
host
It's
it.
interesting.
That doesn't make sense.
No.
Because we were in it before, and then you left. As in me and Lozzie were in it before, and then Lozzie, you left, and then it just kicked me out. I was like,
because when we go into the green room, which is obviously when we're not live, I think that's if I leave, then everyone just fucks off.
Oh, but it's just the green room.
Yeah, I think so. But
okay.
It's weird how that.
Did it let you back in as well into this?
Yeah, because I thought I was gonna have to start the whole thing back up. I was like, oh fuck hell. But yeah, that's good. That's good.
That's handy to know.
Just while you're getting the articles up, Loz, Al makes a very good point, and I think I possibly agree. Al says, I prefer the kebab shop pizzas a lot more cheesy. You know them like almost like deep dish kind of kebab pizza. Don't get me wrong, I love Domino's all day, but yeah, dirty kebab pizza. You know.
Yeah, I always go Italian based when I get a Domino's.
Yeah,
I like the thinner
base.
thinness.
Yeah.
But every now and then, kebab pizzas are pretty good.
Yeah.
Even
like
taste.
Kebab burgers and shit. I don't know what they're just
wow. Kebab.
Yeah, some kebab burgers, the right one.
Yeah, like you're rolling the dice.
If you get a good one, it's like I find the ones where you go in. It's always the same size burger. It must be from the same place, and it's like they stack them up, and they got a little square bit of I don't know, like some sort of like greaseproof paper, and they stack them up.
Yeah,
and I look at, and then I can tell that's usually a good burger.
Yeah.
But if you find a good burger at a kebab, I'm so hungry now. I haven't eaten anything. I'm actually.
And also like at kebab shops. You can there'd be like a fucking like a half pounder option and stuff like heavy duty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry, Loz, you literally trained fasted this morning, and now we're like for a day greasy kebab.
I'll tell you what is another roll of the dice. And I've been found foul of it.
Hygiene rating.
No, well, yeah, that can be because some of them do hide it pretty well. You know, put it like literally at the very bottom of the door.
I'm pretty sure some of those salad things at the front have been there for weeks.
Oh fuck yeah! And the thing is with like green salad stuff, you can't really tell if it's gone off until it's black. So it's like that spinach looks a bit darker than it should do. It's absolutely fine. It's fine, no worries. But yeah, I think the biggest roll of the dice for me is chicken, right?
Yeah.
Specifically fried chicken. If you can have fried chicken, just, pick carefully.
Yeah.
Because some of that can just sit in there, can't it?
Especially if it's a kebab shop that doesn't push fried chicken a lot. It's because they're normally just having it on the grill.
Yeah.
But you want something that's their go-to that they do often. Don't getting some off-menu thing that you know they haven't done in a while.
Yeah.
It's not the greatest.
Then you really are. Yeah.
It's like having a pint of something totally random that's like on a keg that's fucking round the side, and it's when you have it poured, it's just going to be sitting in there for like 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Also, another thing I just thought of, right? If they have sauce not from a bottle in like a vat or like a dish or something, and they take the lid off, I guarantee you are getting some sort of food poisoning. 100%.
Yeah.
Just ladling it, the one they just used to pick a bit of chicken off the floor with. Just like, there you go, do you want some garlic sauce on that? Nah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I always like the kebab shop ketchup. It's just different. It's like vinegary.
Yeah.
Do you ever notice that? It's just
definitely.
It's like a more addictive ketchup than your normal Heinz.
Yeah.
don't know what they're putting in it, but there's something going on there, some sort of conspiracy for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I went to a Malaysian restaurant the other week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, not
really, not nice.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I'm
you're not the biggest fan.
I'm not the most like eclectic eater, to be honest. So, like for example, meat. The only meat I really like is chicken, and there was this chicken dish. Bit into it. No, I didn't bite into it. Someone else bit into it. We were like sharing plates, just buying loads of plates, just sharing all the plates and that, right? Someone bit into this and it was fucking pink. And they were like, chicken can be pink. I was like, well, I'm going to allow you to take that risk.
Yeah.
But I am not.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want pink chicken. Like that's, I wouldn't roll the dice on pink chicken.
Yeah, if there's one meat not to roll the dice on, it would probably be chicken.
Yeah,
with the pink.
Yeah. They don't come to you and go, "How do you want your chicken cooked? Do you want it rare, medium rare?" Like chicken's cooked one way, and that is cooked.
Yeah,
White.
Exactly. I say just to combine basically every discussion we've had in the last 30 minutes, I've just remembered something that pisses me off to this day. I don't know where I was. I don't know when it was. I was smashed. It was after a night out and I was in a kebab shop to get food. Yeah. And I saw on the board.
I remember this.
Yeah. I saw on the board 6 chicken nuggets. Excellent. 6 chicken nuggets, please. Coming right up. They prepared my 6 chicken nuggets, and he went, £6. And I was like, okay. I was steaming. I paid for it, right? I paid for it. I look up again. 6 chicken nuggets, £2.40. You bastard. If I could remember where that fucking shop was, I feel like it was like Nottingham or something, or like some shit like that.
I've got a sneaky suspicion it was Norwich, just from my memory. I think it was Prince of Wales. I think it was Prince of Wales Road, and you got some chicken nuggets from
fucking
random
couldn't believe
place.
it. £6, and then I look up and it's £2.40. Obviously, they're just taking advantage of drunk people.
Yeah.
My mate once in Newquay, end of the night, absolutely blasted, and I don't think I had any money left, and he was like, "Go and get some food." And I was like, "Cool." And he was outside, and he gave me a 50. And in my head, at the time, I was like, "He wants me to get 50 quid worth of food."
Oh, no.
So I just went in and just kept ordering low, and I remember getting 2 big bags of stuff.
Jesus.
And I come out like really proud of myself. And he was like, "What have you done?" I was like, "I got 50 quid worth of food." This was back in the day. It was like 20 years ago. So like, imagine I had everything, mate. I had chips, burgers, kebabs. Just filled. I was like, "Yeah, do the whole 50."
If I give you this 50 quid note, put 50 quid worth of food in bags and I will take it.
They must have been loving it.
Jesus
Absolutely.
Christ. Your mate's like, "You've spent 50 quid on food." Okay, what a
I
change.
had about 8 drinks. 4 drinks each.
Fucking hell.
He's a big lad. He probably would have ate it, to be fair.
Yeah, they're under control.
Yeah.
Christ.
Dear, oh dear.
50 quid takeaway back in the day.
Back in the day. Probably equivalent to about, well, especially now with inflation, about 100 quid now. Well, probably about £1,000 now. But you know, I bought some Kelpol at the garage the other day and some strepsils. 10 quid.
Yeah.
What? £10 for some Kelpol?
Strepsils will set you back about 5, 50, 6 quid.
That is disgusting.
I've got enough boxes in the last week.
Yeah. In fact, it might have been more. Yeah, because the Kelpol was about 6 quid as well. So yeah, about 12 quid. 12 quid for like...
Yeah, that's mental.
A cough.
Yeah. Even coughs have got inflation. Fuck me.
I know.
I'll tell you what I'm definitely doing now, just because we're 35 minutes into the podcast, and there's been no mention of aliens or UFOs. It's going to be changed. I will save this for another podcast.
Okay.
So we'll carry on with the food speak and drunk stories and stuff, and then we might move on. If we've got time, we'll move on to the tier list of horror films. Fucking hell, what an absolute nightmare this podcast is from a trying to run it perspective, because power cuts are brilliant. I'll definitely save these stories because they're very interesting. But yeah, there's so many times that people get mugged off, like you say, Jordan, from people being drunk. Especially, I find it especially at kebab places, because that's like the go-to, really, isn't it? On a night
They
out.
may as well not have a fucking price board up.
I mean, it would probably be better for them if they didn't, especially on if they're opening on Friday nights, Saturday nights late. Just don't put a price list out. People are going to, if you put like cheesy chips, people go, cheesy chips, and you'll then go 25 quid.
Yeah, and then they just tap their card.
They need to invent kebab shop windows as well that are like...
Well, like a drive-through.
No, windows that just because every kebab shop you go to, like,
gets put through, doesn't they?
Left window,
Literally, the kebab shop next to the one stop, 2 roads down, has its window put through.
Yeah, we got into a big fight in a kebab shop, and someone got thrown into a window. Didn't go through it, but like again, it all smashed. But we got charged as well for the window.
Jesus.
Fucking
hell. We got arrested and
50 quid
for the window. It was up about 900 quid.
Jesus.
Well, so they said. They put it through. Again, back in the day. I remember it being hefty.
That's kebab prices as well.
It was almost like half my wage at the time.
Do you want the penta-glazed option? Yes, I do.
Half my wage, and I had to pay half. So I was on about $1,000 a month, and it was like 450 quid. What do you know, man?
We need to help Jack Mason. He says, "What sweets do I go get on my dinner break, lads?" Very important. You want sweets. You want sweets.
Some people class sweets as like jellies and stuff like that, but some people class it as chocolate as well. It's like, so
we'll give you both options. All right, yeah. Let us know, Jack. Right? I'm going to give you a chocolate and a sweet. So I'm going to say squashies.
Yes.
Good choice.
And do you know what I'm really into at the minute? White Lion bars.
Ooh. Nice. Oh.
I ain't had one of those for a while, but they were good.
I like a Lion bar.
I mean, I want a Lion bar now.
Actually, I would murder a Lion bar now. I'd probably have it in one. Wouldn't even touch the sides. What are you going to go for, Lars?
If we're talking like sweets, like in terms of like jellies, lollies, if you're that way inclined, I'm probably going to go Super Mix Haribo, just because I feel if you go to the shop, if you go to the shop and buy a lolly or a pack of lollies, I'm sorry, you are a nonce. 100%. I have never ever thought to myself, I'd like a lolly now. I'd like a lolly. 100%.
It's true, actually.
It doesn't look good if you're the cashier and they've only bought a pack of lollies. Place the pack of lollies down, like, how much that, son? You're like, you're a red dot on a map, isn't you? That's what you are. But yeah,
I'm even skeptical buying them. If my kids aren't there, I won't buy them. You have to have your children with you,
mate. This Halloween, obviously last year, just gone, right? I didn't buy it. My partner bought a pack from Asda because we anticipated having some trick or treaters. Turned out we got fuck all, but it had lollies in it, and I felt like a nonce just owning it. It didn't just have lollies in it. It had Parma Violets, which is another nonsense one.
I was going to say they were nice.
Had some fizzles or fizzlers, I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
Which are acceptable, and some love arts, which again is dodgy territory with children involved. But I just felt weird having it. And I was like, why did you get that? Not only would I be, as a child, back in the day, if I got that from you at Parma Violets, if you'd given me that, I want to burn your fucking house down. right? And there was people where I lived who give out bananas, and I would fucking burn your house down before theirs. But anyway,
That's just wrong.
It is, isn't it? It is.
That is.
Don't give me anything.
Yeah, I'd rather you just tell me to fuck off.
Don't give me a banana.
Disgusting.
Yeah, just turn your lights out. Pretend you're not home.
Yeah,
just like whatever you're doing, whatever you think you're doing, you're not. Just don't give out fruit. Kids do not want it.
No.
Yeah, it's just don't do it.
It would be. I think I accepted the banana one year. It was the same house that did it, right? Multiple years. I accepted the banana one year, and it was a banana that was honestly almost entirely black. And I'm like, why? Just throw it in the bin. If you hate me that much, just don't answer the door.
The only fruit that's acceptable on Halloween is a toffee apple.
Yeah, toffee apple's all right.
That's the only way you'll
kind
get
of a
away
Halloween
with it.
thing, isn't it?
Yeah, a bit like a toffee apple. I mean, it'll crack your teeth to bits, but
yeah.
Christ. But anyway,
so we didn't even get past the lollies. What sweets do you go?
I'm going for a Haribo Super Mix because I feel like it's got a good range of stuff in there. It's got like squashy like stuff in it. They're not exactly squashies, but you do got the same sort of texture and flavour. And I love jelly babies. Gonna be honest, I do love jelly babies. So
they are the highlight of the Super Mix, I'd say.
Definitely.
Like them ones that they've got a bit of consistency to them.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of crush them.
Yeah.
But they're still jelly. Them ones specifically, the Super Mix is quite possibly superior to the original Haribo's.
Yeah, the Star Mix.
But I wouldn't say Tang Fastix it's just too superior, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't do a whole pack in one unless you're having it with your pre-workout. But a few of them, a handful of them is good to get you going.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna nail down a chocolate choice just to cover both bases, I do love a Whisper.
Nice,
classic, simple. Can't go wrong with Whisper. If you're feeling a bit spicy, Whisper Gold.
Yeah, not into them.
I prefer the original, but
I like a Whisper, but the Whisper Gold is just it's not the one. They're not got the right combination of caramel.
Yeah,
Cadbury's
I know what you mean.
in the mud.
Yeah, I'd probably Haribo do a strawberry, like these nice strawberries.
Oh, the straws.
Oh, yeah, the straws.
Yeah, they're top tier. I'll probably go them for my sweet, and then I'm on the Curly Whirly vibe at the minute.
Curly Whirly.
Curly Whirlies. Yeah, you can get a 5-pack for £1.
I have 125.
125. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right.
Inflation. They used to be.
Yeah.
But still, 25p each.
That's good.
It's not too bad.
It's like I usually have a chocolate bar every day, and so I've been trying to I've been trying to have a Curly Whirly as that one, but the trouble is with those 5-packs, they're just there, isn't they? It's like it's not you buy one, so it's usually 2. So I'm not too sure whether that's good or bad. Probably bad. Probably worse than an actual chocolate bar, but
Yeah.
Brett _1102 just said, just joined the stream, expecting UFO discussions, and you're discussing how owning lollies makes you nuts. So I do apologise. It's kind of gone out the window this episode because
we'll do aliens next week.
That's it. We'll have the aliens next week. But I've had a power cut midway through this, and it's just gone to shit. So we're discussing now how lollies make you a nuts. But that's a good choice, I think. All round from us, to be honest.
Has he come back with what he'd choose?
I don't think he has. Oh, hang on.
No.
He's probably in there now, picking.
Yeah, pressure's on.
Well,
Al said, what did Al say? Jack dons his raincoat and buys Chupa Chups. And then Jack said, haha, can you imagine? I'd be locked up as soon as I left my house. But he did also say, good job, I'm not off to buy lollies. So we have covered that.
Yeah.
We've saved him from a potential register there.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, we're
here we
doing you a
go.
favor.
He has answered.
Oh,
He's put, thanks for the help, boys. I think it's going to be the Super Mix, to be honest.
There we go.
nice. He took the advice.
That's it.
It just gives you a good range, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Even the little, like there's dinosaur jellies in it that are quality as well.
Yeah.
I like how Searly is in the comments is kind of blending what we're doing with the original
Love it.
title. He says, on the topic of aliens, what's the one food you'd present to them if they were to arrive? So we've got the aliens have turned up at your door for some reason, and you can present them with any food. What would you show them?
If I wanted to anger them, potentially, I'll give them Space Raiders. Look what we've reduced your existence down to. It's a maze snack.
They are good though, Space Raiders.
Yeah, I do rate
I'll probably I'll hit them up with a Domino's, and I'll be like, on your planet, how does it work? How long does it take to get pizza? And I'll show it. I was like, does it take 40 minutes? Have you got something else going down? Do you just take a pill? I had this thing. I was watching the Minimalist program the other day, and this does link to aliens.
1 sec, guys. I've got the
the aliens have turned up.
So I was watching this Minimalist, and then I thought of all the images of aliens and the UFOs and all the times that we've supposedly encountered them. And they haven't got much stuff, have they?
No, don't really carry possessions.
They got no clothes, no possessions, no animals, no. Even on their ships, they've got nothing. It's very minimalist.
Yeah.
And I was like, so they're basically us in thousands of years' time, and they've just gone full minimalist.
Yeah.
No jewelry, just nothing. They just don't need anything.
Yeah. We meet them from the future, and they just like, I remember when our ancestors used to wear, undergarments. I remember when we used to wear clothes.
They don't even have genitals, do they? They've gone that minimalist.
No, it's smooth as a Ken doll.
They've got the big brains, the big eyes. Yeah, and just gone full. They just don't need any possessions. They just burn around to different planets.
I wonder where the first... Because obviously we've got the stereotypical form of an alien, like how it's drawn in pictures, Hollywood films, whatever. I wonder where that first original thought came from, like how they should look and how they should be formed as a living thing. I wonder who first coined that, because there's such a weird concept to think, oh, well, what do we think of the extraterrestrial? Let's put it onto a bit of paper and let's draw what we think an alien would look like. I would just wonder where that came from, like who originally made the first drawing of an alien.
The first little ones, because that's been consistent, isn't it? It's your go-to whenever you think about aliens.
Yeah.
And like I say, no accessories, no clothes, no. They occasionally, I don't know if this is movies, and they might have had a gun, a laser gun, but even on their ships, just basic, very minimalist creatures.
Don't really see them eat. Don't really see them.
Yeah, they don't need food, really, do they? Yeah.
Some of them are allergic to water. in some franchise of films, but it's just it's a weird concept. Like, how do you even picture what the extraterrestrial looks like without having source material? So whoever created the first source material is just like,
perhaps on their planet, perhaps they don't need water. They've evolved, so like if they did just need like sunlight, they'd be perfect for traveling like long distance of time. If they operated where they didn't need water, that would be, and they just needed energy. Yeah, that would be proper useful.
They've basically one-upped a camel. Looked at a camel, gone, I can do better than that. We all can do better than that.
Yes, if we didn't need water or oxygen, we would be we'd be all right.
Yeah.
We could travel vast distances.
Yeah, definitely.
Charged up by the sun.
Photosynthesis, that bitch.
Yeah.
I used to always be weirded out by that. Like if you had something laid on grass for ages, and then you lifted it off, and the grass would all be yellow, and I was like, shit, the world's ending. What's going on? But yeah, that's still a crazy thought. Back in the days. Was anyone who was at your door, John?
A delivery.
Nice.
I'm very conscious of deliveries at the minute because it's my birthday a week on Saturday. So I think Maya's ordering things for my birthday. And so it's I'm trying not to look at the packages.
Yeah. It just takes one slip, one slip, and it's completely revealed.
It's all over.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I tell you, I don't know if this was part of the plan for the UFO episode, but it'd be a good story to get up for next week, Loz, is what Al says about that story of the school in Africa when all those school kids saw a UFO.
I think we did a little bit of a dive into it. I don't think we dived that much into it, but we have mentioned it on the podcast before, I think.
Yeah, that's cool. I'd like to look into that more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really weird, wasn't it? It was.
And then Daz says the Westall school landing is crazier, over 300 people. Westall school landing. That's a cool one to look into. Aerial school, over 60 kids saw them. Bloody hell. Look at all the schools.
Yeah, I think it was in Zimbabwe, wasn't it?
Yeah, somewhere like that.
I will make sure that's up for next time. Wow, just seen one of the drawings. That is slightly horrific.
But they all said the same thing, didn't they?
Yeah, they all corroborated the story.
But there's consistency for all their statements.
Yeah.
Which is worrying.
So in next week's episode, hopefully there is no power cuts, obviously. And we talk about what I plan to talk about in the podcast. Because there's going to be I'm going to re-upload this straight away under a different title and definitely a different thumbnail because it is the most misleading thumbnail and title I've ever produced for the podcast. But next week we'll do a UFO one. There's a couple of cool stories about UFOs. Some new footage that's been declassified by the US Air Force as well.
Oh, I haven't heard about that.
Which will be cool to look at and read the report on. But yeah, that's what you'll be having next week, if all goes to plan. Otherwise, we'll obviously be telling people what jellies and what sweets to get again.
That's it.
Which I feel like people
it'd be nice to know what's in that classified vault at the moment, wouldn't it? So obviously stuff gets declassified and then we can look at it. It's
happening at a faster rate now because I feel like the pressure is to just release it because people demand it. But the particular one that I'll be talking about next week is from last year.
So that's right. That is very recent.
Yeah. So it feels like they're getting shorter amount of times between it being classified and then declassified.
Yeah.
But they've also said, which I think is pretty much everyone kind of knows at the moment, is the rate at which reportings and visibly seeing unidentified aircraft or phenomena has almost doubled from
Has it?
Yeah. I think I think it was a few years ago, it was 350 instances of occurrences, and then it's now over 600. So it's a massive leap in which we see the evidence of, don't we? Because how many times have we said this has been found, this has been found.
Yeah.
So it's definitely happening. Something's going on.
Did you see the Elon launch?
Oh, the rocket.
It blew up, didn't it?
Yeah. Although that was kind of semi-expected that the press twisted it, but if you watch other outlets, so he just wanted to get it off the ground was the initial thing. Anything above that was a bonus, apparently.
Oh, right.
So it was it was a test launch, and they hoping it wouldn't, but because a few billion to do it all. But the main thing was to get it launched.
Yeah, that's. I feel like there definitely is some sort of agenda against Elon Musk, whatever he does.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because it was a win.
Yeah, I mean, if that was his goal, was to get it off the ground, which it did, and then obviously anything over that is a bonus, then framing it as if the entire thing is a failure is it's not really.
Just it sells papers, don't it? Or sells news, sells clicks. It's like, I clicked on it for that reason actually, just because. And then when I did a little bit of research on it. I was like, they basically it was trying to do a maneuver to get the second phase going, where it splits from and that was the bit they had a problem with. So I think they essentially, because that wouldn't break away.
Yeah.
After a period of time, they just reported it and blew the whole thing up to stop any collateral damage.
Probably is worth mentioning as well. It's not NASA who are building this. It's a private company, a SpaceX.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
don't NASA now
employ
pay SpaceX to do shit?
And his other rockets are now the what's the word? They're like the most efficient and used and advanced rockets
because they can they can reuse
They're
parts.
Reusable. Keep reusing them. So like the fact that he's done this first launch and it's not gone to fully plan, but like it's got farther than I expected. So like the next one, there might be the 2, 3, 4 explosions before they get it completely right, because they have to get all the data together. But the main thing they wanted to test was like if they could launch something that big. If you've seen it, it's impressive, and it's mad watching the power boost, and it looks so slow initially. Like it's an amazing feat to get that much weight off the ground. So like I say, it'd be interesting watching the next one.
I watched that parts of that interview he did with the BBC as well, where it's just a bloke trying to say Twitter is more racist than it was before, and Elon's basically like, well, if you think it's racist, you're telling me that it definitely is. Give us an example. And he's like, well, I don't have one. So he's like, you're just saying shit to try and make him look bad.
Elon literally made that journalist look like the biggest twat on the planet.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. What?
Oh, mate, you got to watch it. It's phenomenal.
What is
this journalist is just trying to basically, like Lozzie said, like that Twitter is worse than it's ever been, and there's all hate speech on there and stuff, and you can't go anywhere without seeing hate speech on Twitter. So Elon just goes, "Can you give me an example from your feed?" And then he's like, "Well, I haven't been on in a few months because of the hate speech." He was like, "Well, when you were on, can you give me an example?" And he just couldn't do it. And he was like, "So you're lying then? That is a lie."
Yeah.
And then he tries to move on, and then Elon just literally ties him up in knots, and it's just fucking hilarious to see.
Yeah.
And then he kind of turns it back on the BBC and stuff, and because he says about how Twitter helps spread misinformation, and then it's basically like, has the BBC never reported on something that was false?
Yeah.
Like, it's just fucking. It's fucking.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's dumb. Any news outlet going at Twitter, because
it's dumb for anyone to go at fucking Elon Musk. Do you understand how fucking articulate and intelligent that man is? He's like
he's definitely got a neuro link embedded. 100%, because he's just too fast with stuff.
Yeah, I know he's pissed me off in the past, like tanking Bitcoin and stuff, but overall, I think Elon Musk, in the grand schemes, I'm not even joking. In the grand schemes of fucking human history, I think that man has the potential to be looked back at as possibly a savior for mankind. Like, he's the only person trying to get to another planet because he knows that one day we're going to use this one up.
Yeah. If you think in timelines, if you look back and you categorize what is done, like, I don't know where Amazon will be in 100 years, but like, maybe they'll go into their own space travel, which they're kind of doing a little bit. But like, people are going to look back at his body of work and be like, oh, he's progressing this. And hopefully there's people in his footsteps that will continue to do it. But I imagine he's that clever that he will set it up to its evergreen, so that even once he's gone, it continues to work without him.
Yeah. Definitely. I think he is. I think he will be one of the most important historic figures to ever walk the planet. I really genuinely believe that.
100%. Yeah.
You know, he is a billionaire that is using his resources for the betterment of humankind, for the preservation of the human race. You know, that's fucking huge. And then some people boil it down to all billionaires having a race into space. It's maybe that's what fucking Branson and fucking Bezos is doing. But
Elon's he's wanted that from a child, hasn't he? Hopefully, like when he does pass, you know, the legacy continues, and they don't try and fuck him when he dies, and like bring up like they do with so many people.
Turns out it's Jimmy Savile 2.0.
Just try and fuck his legacy and like undo all the work. I mean, he's a bit strange, but he's the shit he's doing is incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
It's not like, because I've seen people say he's like reckless because of what he's done with Twitter and you know, getting rid of people that he didn't feel were necessary.
Twitter's net like making as much money as it's losing for the first time in years
because it was just hemorrhaging.
Twitter just hemorrhaged money. And he said so because he sacked all them people. And someone was like, you know, how is Twitter running better than ever? And it's like, because it's not that hard to get a company like Twitter to run well. You know, there was just so many people there just doing fuck all. You know, sort of running an agenda and stuff. I think he said, you know, that you get rid of people that aren't adding anything to the company. Streamline it. It runs better.
It's not like he's 100% focused on technology pushing it down people's throats, because there are things that he's a bit wary of, like AI. So it's not like he's completely reckless. He's not just saying fuck it, do everything he possibly can. He's got concerns about stuff, so it's clear that he does have an element of I don't know, caring.
Oh yeah,
so
100%. Like
for anyone to say that he doesn't give a shit about the human race, he's only doing it for either himself, the acclaim that he'd get from doing it. Even if that were true, it would still be for the betterment of the majority, I would say. So I don't get the people who just completely hate everything he does, no matter what he does, because of who he is.
If you look at all his projects, that they are all trying to better humanity in the long run. Like imagine if he was like Bezos, where he was just profit driven, and he just and all he like, you know, he's doing these launches into space and stuff for betterment, you know, for like however you want to word it or package it up, but he's got a vision that he wants to achieve, and he wants us to be eventually like interstellar and you know, go to other planets, and that's his vision, and that is in my eyes anyway, it's for the betterment of humanity. Whereas like other people are purely based on, you know, the profit that the company will bring. Like Amazon solves some problems, but like if you really drill down to it, and it's not just Amazon's fault, but it just essentially means we just order a load more shit we don't need. It's not. It is solving some problems, but it's also creating a lot of others. So I think that if you were to weigh him up against, like say, other like multi-billionaires or directors, he's doing more good.
Well,
but you're always going to piss people off, aren't you?
The long and short of it is, if we just take the space exploration stuff only, remove Tesla from the equation, we just talk about the space travel. One company is doing it under Richard Branson for purely people just to go and do it as like a tourist thing, commercially. Jeff Bezos is doing it, I think, kind of as both, and also possibly going to the moon to get resources from the moon, so that possibly could help us. But there's only one person who realizes that this planet is fucked no matter what we do, and all we're doing is just extending the lifespan of this planet. It is eventually going to be consumed. We need to expand out if we're going to survive, multi thousands of years. And there's only one person who's trying to figure out how to do that. And obviously Mars is the first step, and then you make the next step, but you've got to try and get to the first step first, whereas everyone else is trying to preserve this or just doing it commercially.
Yeah. But also, although the obviously Earth is set to get swamped up by the sun at something like billions of years, there's been loads of times where we've been wiped out anyway.
Yeah.
Like meteors have come down and wiped out loads of the dinosaurs. I think it was on Joe Rogan who's showing all the meteor hits. Like, in the last few hundred years, and there was dotted all over the world. So God knows how long our timeline is to actually get humans on another planet to actually start building a planet there, because it could be a few 100,000 years, which sounds a lot, but it's in the grand scheme of things, it's not a lot.
No.
Yeah, I mean, Elon Musk's on about nuking Mars, isn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know how deep he dived into that, but listening to people who are in the science kind of field, they understand why he would want to do that. So when you say, I want to nuke something, initially your first thought is, why? Why would you nuke something? Because if he just said, I'm just going to go nuke some random place, well, that's obviously a bad idea. That's going to be very negative. But the whole point is to create a sort of atmosphere that is semi-livable or semi-workable. Yeah. So there is a thought behind it. It's not like just, fuck it, I'll nuke the moon or nuke Mars.
Yeah. It's got loads of water, hasn't it? It's just all trapped.
Yeah.
Yeah. Frozen, I think.
Yeah, so I don't know. Somehow by nuking it creates an atmosphere. It'd take 100 or 200 years, I think.
Yeah.
But it will. But why not? What's it to lose?
Yeah, isn't it? Not being funny, it's not our planet either. Fuck it.
There's nothing on it. It's not like if there's stuff on it, I'd be like, there's nothing there.
It's
so it's make it livable, and then at least it's a whole planet.
Yeah.
At least something can benefit from it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Even if it fails, it's worth the fucking try, surely. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He'll start sending all these huge rockets up, and then I imagine towards his demise, whenever that is, these rockets will be going up quite often, and then one of them will just have a secret nukes in there. And then just as he's on his deathbed, as he's going, he'll be like, there's 4 rockets that are going to nuke Mars, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
That's what I'd do if I was him.
Definitely. I also think he'll probably do something like, the Disney Frozen thing. Not cryogenics. I reckon he'll do some sort of, and the technology may be there by the time he dies, but I reckon he'll do some sort of experimental, uploading his consciousness to a machine or something. Even if it's if in 1,000 years you can reactivate me, then fucking great, you know.
Yeah. Or there'll just be a computer, and there'll be definitely an AI computer Elon Musk that just carries on.
Yeah.
It's uploaded all his information to. That's weird, isn't it? That perhaps you could die, but a version of you, of all your thoughts and
your consciousness,
memories.
Yeah, if an AI was trained to just learn everything you've ever done, everything you've ever said that's on record, obviously, it could probably replicate you quite closely.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but that's a Black Mirror episode, isn't it? I think. I don't know if it's AI.
It is. Yeah. Where those
June.
dummies, isn't it?
That's coming. New Black Mirror series.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm excited.
Season 6.
I do love Black Mirror.
They are fantastic.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Because I was watching, I just saw a trailer on someone's Instagram, and it didn't say what it was, and I was like, this looks sick, and I was like, this looks very much like Black Mirror.
Yeah.
And then it was all these clips, and then at the end it was like season 6, I think.
Yeah.
Season 6 coming soon. I was like, shit, it is Black Mirror. I do love Black Mirror. It's one of my favourite shows.
Yeah, for sure. It's just weird that like sometimes now reality feels like an episode of Black Mirror.
Yeah.
Which I think I think the creator or one of the creators behind it has said before that when it reaches this point where Black Mirror is kind of seen as this reality TV show, he might just stop it because there's no point in making it because it's already been made in front of us. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he said that. I might have got that quite wrong, but yeah, it's crazy.
Well, COVID, fucking hell, that's fucking Black Mirror-esque, isn't it? That is.
Yeah,
that shit was crazy. I just remember walking around doing stuff and just think, being like, this, it doesn't seem real.
Tell you what, one of the scariest things from COVID that wasn't COVID at all. Do you remember when the government came out and they were like, there was literally a fucking campaign that was like, quit your creative job and join tech.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. Fatima could be in cybersecurity or something like that.
You're a ballerina. Well, you could do cyber. Yeah, like it was.
There was. It was just like, what? That again, Black Mirror. Fucking...
Yeah, it's like, let's kill people's creativity because creativity equals freedom, in my opinion, and let's just have them all in fucking cubicles doing cybersecurity, doing tech work. There's nothing wrong with tech and stuff. I'm just saying the fact that it was like taking one thing, which is like the antithesis, in my opinion, and then putting, it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, oh man, don't dance for a living.
It was also, it was also kind of branded as if like you can step into IT jobs with literally just going, I'll do IT jobs now. Fuck it. I've been a dancer. I'll fuck that off. I'm gonna go into an IT job.
Yeah, that was weird, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's a weird campaign.
You can't just walk because you know how to use fucking Facebook. You can't just walk into a fucking IT job.
No.
Yeah, I do remember that.
That was fucking. That really stood out to me. That was like, wow, that is fucking terrifying.
Yeah. Just going back to Black Mirror for a second. I know that I can't remember what season it was, but I definitely know this was a Black Mirror episode where they had like the social scoring system. How you act socially is rated by other people.
Yeah, that was really good.
I think, to be honest, we're already halfway there.
100%, mate. Yeah, with
what people post on social media, verification stuff. I mean, literally, there is a social credit score in China. Like, you will have a social credit score, so there'll be things like in your financial history is rated there for like people to see, and like, oh fuck me, we're already there. That's what I mean.
Yeah, but also numbers mean so much to people for validation. Like don't get me, when I went to Dubai for that creator summit thing, like don't get me wrong, there was fucking so many wonderful people that I met. But there were so many people there. The opening was like, "Hi, how many followers do you have?" And it's like, why does that fucking matter, mate?
Yeah.
Like, who gives a shit? Like fucking. I've had 2,000 followers, and I now have across all my platforms about 500,000, right? And I am no better of a fucking person because that number of 2,000 has increased by fucking 498. Do you know what I mean? It's like it literally means nothing. It means nothing. But like I remember, and this is not dragging my sister, bless her, but I remember when I come off Twitter, I deleted my Twitter.
Yeah.
My Twitter had 20,000 followers. She was like, "You deleted an account with 20,000 followers? Why? What the fuck?" It's like, because my mental health is more important. Like it's nothing. Like it doesn't matter. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is delusion, isn't it? With it all, it's crazy.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It matters so much to people.
Yeah,
I think that comes.
It's just sad. It's just sad because there are people. There's like extended family members on my partner's side who have children, and they know that I do YouTube, obviously through the podcast, and they know that I've helped on your channel a lot before, so they know that. And the first thing they asked was, "How many subscribers do you have?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
one, if you know about us, you shouldn't be watching us at your age, because
Yeah.
I mean, especially the podcast, because there's a lot of swearing in it. But it was just, I just like took a step back and I was like, why is that the first thing they wanted to know about?
Yeah.
But it's just baked into their minds now. It's like, how many views did that get? How many followers you got? That's just fucking sad.
The issue is that then creates this culture that your self-worth is embedded in how many people follow you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But also as well, it doesn't
It's a dangerous path.
It doesn't correlate to things that people think it does, like health, wealth.
Absolutely. Fucking absolutely, mate.
All the other stuff. Like there's lots of things that, so I think back in the day when you'd have famous people, which, you know, say go back 10 years or whatever, there was quite a lot of famous people, but say that, you know, there's a couple of handful. Now you've got a lot more quite famous people with millions of followers and stuff, but like people assume and think that all these people live the life of, you know, these other famous people that are like actors and like multi-millionaires and stuff, and it isn't the case. It doesn't correlate, you know. I remember watching a guy, I think on Instagram, and he was like, I've got 2 million followers, I live at home in my mom's basement, and he hadn't quite worked out to monetize it or whatever. Not that that's, you know, the be all and end all, but it's just, again, people were assuming because of that he lived a certain life or whatever, and it just wasn't true. And it's also as well, you think back in the day, like these actors and stuff, you know, they still did have problems and things, but they would get media training and different types of training, how to deal with, like, you know, lots of people being aware of them and giving them none of that with these people who've got YouTube accounts or Instagram accounts. They've got, say, 1 million followers. No one's taught how to deal with all this negative comments and stuff that comes their way. And it's not, and a lot of the time you don't even get the reward for it. Like you say, you got a bunch of people that hate on someone, but it's not like, you know, with an actor, you're like, oh, you know, he's earning 10 million a year, whatever. Like you know, you take the good with the bad. But like I say, all the kids looking up to certain accounts and stuff. Like I say, it does need numbers for certain stuff, but it's not the be all and end all. Yeah,
it's just blown. There's just too much emphasis put on it, I feel, you know.
Yeah. It's like I say, I think we're living in an experimental stage in history where they'll probably look back at it and go, oh yeah, that people will probably change anyway, you know. Like I say, I think you said it before, lots of like young kids and that, one of their main things, they want to be like YouTubers or influencers. Maybe in 10-20 years that will probably change as more people give their reflection on it.
Because, you know, I know I am one, like as a full-time occupation and stuff, but where you say that, you know, where it's like maybe it'll change, I almost hope it does, because as much, you know, we provide entertainment for people and that, which is awesome, but if everyone wants to be a fucking YouTuber and no one wants to be a doctor anymore, I think we're fucked. To be honest,
100%.
Like, you know, I mean, my dad said, you know, it's weird because obviously I went into a high school recently to give a talk on being a YouTuber and that, and my dad was like, that's weird because, like, you know, when I was at school, you know, I wanted to be a truck driver, you know, just normal shit. I wanted to be, I wanted to be a builder. I wanted to be, you know, this and that, you know, and now it's all just, I want to make videos online. It's just like,
and that's another thing to it as well. It's like, as time goes on, people will see the reality of stuff, and it all looks, you know, like the whole world of social media, Instagram, everything that, you know, a YouTube video, it looks nice and packaged for a 10-minute piece of work, and people, oh god, I love. Like, the reality of it is totally different. The reality is like
100%.
it's it's a 1% snippet of someone's day. And the reality of how those people are living their life is totally different.
100%.
And that's, it's a bit like movie stars and stuff, isn't it? People look up to them in the past and be like, oh, look how they live, and all the other stuff gets hidden, all the them fucking with alcohol problems or problems with their missus or whatever.
Searly says something very interesting, which I can only, and I mean no disrespect, this comment comes from someone that hasn't seen behind the curtain. All about the pay. If you make it as a YouTuber, you'd end up getting paid a lot more than a, let's say, necessary job like a doctor. I'm going to disclose now, which is very rare for YouTubers. And I know, like, I haven't made incredible waves or anything, but the most I've ever made in a year, I made 32,500. Now that is a lot of money and that's fantastic, but I'm not being funny. That's no better than a seasoned teacher.
Yeah, 100%, mate.
And I have 100,000 fucking subscribers. I'm a full-time YouTuber, So it's not like you go full-time as a YouTuber and you make millions, because you don't.
Yeah.
And I would say as well,
if you want financial security and stability, this is not the fucking job.
Yeah, I'll say the amount of time and effort, like how long I've known you over the years, the amount of time and effort you put into it, hours-wise, hours. I would say hours. You probably put in more than a 9 to 5, but you could
easily.
quite easily have done. And it's like I say, it's another thing that when the curtains pull back, people with Instagram, with YouTubers, and that, as more and more people enter the market, it gets devalued. So you have to have even more followers to earn money, or be even like anything percentage-wise, like to be up there earning X amount of money, you have to be exceptional at doing it.
For sure.
Again,
but even that, it sometimes isn't enough. Like,
it could be a trend, or could be luck, or not. Not accept probably the wrong word.
No, but I know what you mean, though. I do. But sometimes even that isn't enough.
Yeah, I think people are
these algorithms.
And as well, like just luck of like catching the right audience at the right age at the right time. I think there's a lot of luck involved in like different trends and stuff. But like you say, it's I think everyone looks at like your KSIs and stuff and go, oh, I want to live that life. But actually, even from this documentary, you dig into it, it's like, how happy actually are they compared to what you actually see?
But boiling down to happiness is a whole different ball game, and I just think you got to find what makes you happy, more so than the money. I mean, for me personally, like, I started this YouTube thing to get the 100K plaque, and I got it blurred out hilariously, but I got it, so I've got what I came here for, which is awesome. And it's kind of like, what's next, I won't just say on here what I think is next for me, but obviously I've discussed it with you two. I do genuinely think that is what is next for me, but it's but then I think it's every job. It's not what,
no, 100%, mate.
It's not what it appears, on the outside.
Mate. 100%. Like everything. And it's the trouble with social media, and it's like, again, if you're in it, it's kind of you're part of it. But everything's portrayed like it's all the 1%. So like, I struggle with like Instagram and stuff, because I'm like, I'm not a negative person, so I don't like posting any negative stuff. But then I also don't just like posting,
overly positive
like
stuff.
you post, put stuff like I post at the wedding, you have a nice day and that, and I post that. But then it's also a lie, because it's like, what about the shit times? Like you don't post the shit times on that. So I look at that in two ways. I'm either it's either I post the negative stuff as well, but it's just, or just I don't post. But then it's like, I think it's important when I get a chance to say, like, it's everyone's got shit in their life that they go through.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just obviously the nature of Instagram and those platforms is you do post the good stuff or the not that it's like completely tinted, but you just put like nice there. I look at those things as more like a memory bank, just so I can look back on personally and go. So I'm not like I never think I'll post something because that looks cool. I just think I'll post that for me. It's like I post that for me. And maybe lots of people use that, but there are people that post stuff too. They're like, as a flex or whatever. But just remember, it's a 1%. Never judge your life by someone's fucking Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is. Unless you're living next door to them and seeing the and even then you still don't know half the shit that's going on. You don't know their struggles. So like never. I just think it's pointless comparing yourself to anybody else. Trying to judge where you are and your achievements, and you just because you don't know how they feel or what they actually feel inside.
I'm a massive advocate for only compare yourself to who you who you were yesterday. That's literally 100%. It. Like
Matthew McConaughey.
Which is why I struggle at the minute because I tripled in size in 2020 and I've struggled to do the same since. But although that's discounting Facebook, but yeah, like 100%, like you will never ever derive happiness from comparing yourself to other people, even if you're comparing yourself to people like that are doing worse than you, because then I'm not being funny, that's quite fucking sad. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you don't win by comparing yourself to other people.
It's weird. We live in a world where like you got flexes on social media, and definitely there's a monetary thing where if someone's got a Lambo and a big house, you're like, oh, they're living the dream. And if you were to say anything bad against that, it's like, oh, you're just bitter. But I can say from my personal experience, I've had times where I've had loads of money, I've had times where I haven't. And one of the happiest times I've been, apart from kids, is like when I sold everything and went traveling. I didn't have nothing, and actually, and I know that's a very privileged thing to say because I had the opportunity to go traveling. But I was broke. I had like 20 grand worth of debt. I had a couple of grand in the bank, and I was literally run out of money several times on my travel. So it wasn't like I was like, oh, mommy and daddy give me 20 grand to go traveling, and it's like I was literally homeless a few times when I was traveling and stuff. But honestly, like I was relatively stress free. I had even when I was broke I didn't have any to sleep that night, like. And again, there's different scenarios where this happens to different people. So it's like I don't want to take away from other people's homelessness things. Like obviously mine was in a nice hot country and stuff. But having freedom, having the it is, it's not, you've got worries and stuff, but I've had just as much worries when I've had money as I have when it's not a linear thing. It's not like, money's important, but there's a scale. And things. I watched a program on Millers just about objects and things. Like they are just things, aren't they? Like
they really are.
Tyson Fury said a great thing. It's like it's all borrowed anyway. When we die, it all gets back. So it's like we don't truly own anything. We just borrow it, and that quote sticks in my head a lot.
Absolutely. I'm kind of like on a. Not a spiritual, I guess you could call it spiritual, I guess, I don't know, but I'm on like a journey to find just happiness. I don't care about money. I really don't. As long as I've got enough to pay my monthly bills, I now don't give a shit. Like, I think it probably stems from, Facebook in January kind of opening my eyes that an algorithm in the space of a month can reduce my finances by 92%. Because the algorithm decided it didn't like me anymore. That was fucking eye-opening, but and humbling. But I just think there's just so much more to life than finances. Yes, of course they're important. You need money for the fundamentals of life, but if you can get that, Don't know how much happiness you can derive
But
past
yeah,
that.
that's the thing in it that I think Jordan Peterson's always fair, and there's Maslow's law of needs, I think it's called, and it's the trajectory. It's a scale of like money and happiness, and it's a trajectory. And once you get your baseline layer for your home comforts, it falls off. But then I also think as well, like nowadays, even if you're like in the UK and you're relatively like you haven't got much money in regard to like the scale of what everyone's on. Like, think to how we lived 300, 400, 500 years ago. Like, the life that we're living now is the life of like kings.
Yeah, I think at the turn of the 18th, at the turn of the 1800s in America, the average wage was $1 a day. I think. So think about that, $1 a day in the Western world, compared to now, we're all fucking rich.
So I was chatting to might have been my mate Craig, but I was like, yeah, even age. So like 200 years ago, which in the grand scheme of things is not actually, it's a couple of generations ago, 3, 4, 5 generations ago. The average age was like 30 to 40. So like basically now I'd be a very old. I feel like an old man anyway, but I'd be like super. I'd be one of the oldest people on the planet. Lucky. I'm lucky that I'm alive, and I'll be expected to be dead very soon. So that's pretty amazing. In the space of 200 years, with like 2.5 the average age. So yeah, fuck, every day from now is a fucking bonus.
Absolutely. Yeah. I had my partner's father is trained in like NLP and therapy and stuff. So I went round to have a chat with him the other day. Ended up being there for 6 hours, and it was just a great conversation, about, and just priority, trying to look at what's important and stuff, and how to find that happiness. And then in July, I'm going to, which I think could potentially be fucking life changing. I'm going to Tony Robbins.
Are you?
Yeah, 4 days.
Where's that?
At the NEC. It's in Birmingham. I think it's the
really?
NEC.
I might talk to you after that, because I do
that's
that.
going to be fucking insane.
Yeah.
Apparently,
I love NLP as well.
he's fully trained in it.
Oh, that's cool. I have to have a chat, because I was thinking about doing a course, but there's just so many of them. I'd like to do NLP.
He's brilliant. Like, when he gets into that headspace and he's talking to you and stuff, it's just like, he just makes you think about things from completely different perspectives and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
Yeah. I have had a session with someone before when I was doing some coaching. And I found it super interesting. It's something I'd like to learn.
Yeah, definitely. So Tony Robbins is going to be fucking insane. It's a 4 days. Yeah. 4 days. Apparently, it's like 18 hours a day. You're basically standing all day, and he just basically breaks you down to your absolute raw fundamentals. And then
that's in June.
Completely. That is in July 20. I think it's like the weekend of like July 25th, something like that, and it's 4 days. It is actually a Thursday to a Sunday, so I will have to miss that podcast. But I'm sure I'll be back the week after, and I probably won't be able to shut up. So
no, that's brilliant. Is it fully booked?
I don't know.
I'll chat to you after about it.
Yeah. But yes, that's going to be interesting. And I feel like I feel like the timing for it is pretty much perfect as well for me personally.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's something to be very excited about, for sure.
I feel like he's the kind of guy, even if you don't get a lot from him, even if you don't think some of his techniques and some of what he says is good for you, you will take something away from him, like thinking it's positive for yourself. I remember you sent me a link to one of his, I think it was on Facebook. It was like almost like a webinar, seminar sort of thing during COVID. And I just took away some of the things he was saying about trying to just not overthink stuff and just be positive about stuff. And his energy as well is insane.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
And you almost get something just from the energy that he provides in the seminars.
Yeah.
So even if you not agree with 100% of the stuff he says, you will get something from him.
Yeah, definitely. I think his big thing is life is always working for you, not against you.
Yeah.
So even if something bad happens, think about like what potential good could come from this. So for example, like my arm was in a cast, so I couldn't fucking work. I couldn't edit for like a month, right? And so then, but it gave me a time to, really reflect and really think about what I wanted. You know, was this serving me? Was I happy with this and stuff? And then something else came up, which I had to turn down because of it. But then because I turned it down because of my cast, a professional company then did said thing. So then I could look at what they did and how much they charge, etc. Realize I can do this. And then, so, all these things. Whereas if you think, oh, I fucking missed out on that job. So wait, no, you didn't, because you missed out on it because you could learn more from not doing it.
Yeah.
So that's another thing is a great way to, if you can frame things, which sometimes obviously it's fucking virtually impossible in certain circumstances, but in a lot of circumstances, you can sit back and think, wait, this is shit, but what is this? I'm not being funny, and this is obviously extreme as you can get. I had my arm in a cast for a month, so I couldn't drive. Who knows? If I hadn't had my arm in a cast, I could have went to drive to golf and got hit by a fucking lorry. Do you know what I mean? You just don't know.
Yeah.
So you can look at it like that as well, But Dad says glass half full stuff. Absolutely. But I just remember after that Facebook webinar thing, I remember fucking driving to the podcast, funnily enough, with Lozzie and just being fucking just buzzing. Like I'd got up that morning, I'd gone for a run. I was just fucking on one. And also I did his 30 days. I did his 30 days of whatever it is, right? On these tapes. I did that at the start of lockdown. I then went on that year to fucking triple in size, never worked so hard, blah, 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 and I do put it down in some way, shape or form to doing that 30 days because it does just fucking, it changes your perception. And
his documentary was amazing. Is it I'm Not Your Guru?
I'm Not Your Guru, yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah.
I have to rewatch that, I think, to get it does get you buzzing. And that's sometimes what you need is just that little injection, all that spark. I remember listening to like Grant Cardone's like 10x his audio book and I think it correlates with the time and where you are and what's going on. But I remember that had a massive impact, and I was like fucking like a man possessed when I read that.
Yeah, absolutely. So really looking forward to that. That would be really cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That'd be really cool.
Well, what has just happened to this podcast?
No, I don't even know. It's not been aliens, is it? Well, it was aliens for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
In the middle.
Yeah.
There's a prequel.
Yeah.
Aliens stuff to come.
Talked about the gym, pre-workout, somehow got onto the topic of lollies making you a nonce. And then we started talking about Elon Musk, and now we're here.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That was a fucking journey.
Yeah.
That was.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was. Yeah, that was really cool.
Best part of 2 hours.
Wow.
Look at that. It doesn't even feel like it. I mean, I don't even know how long into the podcast the power cut was, but that'll be interesting to edit.
20 minutes, Sally.
Yeah. I'll have to see how that goes on the edit, because I know the roadcast that I'm using now. I know for a fucking fact that audio file is not going to be there for the first 20 minutes. So I'm going to have to use the audio from StreamYard, which is not as good. So I'll try and make it work. But I might not even check, but I just know it's not going to be there. It's one of those things that if you don't stop the recording, it just deletes it if there's no power in it. Yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, I'll have fun editing that later today. But thanks for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a journey, as most of the podcasts are. And just I hope you all stay positive.
Yes.
Self-care, all that sort of stuff. Don't buy lollies. And I'll see you in the next one. Up the APMA.
Yeah, which will probably be UFOs. See you later.
Will be 100% UFOs. If it's not, you're all dead.